Well, I thought now that we're really sort of getting into Christmas and everything, we've sold a lot of the classic packs, and I thought I'd just show a bit where we really specialise in. That's a kind of the off the beaten track Christmas packs. So what I thought I'd talk to you a bit about is each of the growers that we've selected and why we've selected them. And the first one you have in the off the beaten track pack is actually an English sparkling. And you know, if you think of English sparkling wines and English wine generally, even 10 years ago, a lot of it was undrinkable, but the quality has improved enormously, and it's actually a perfect, the sort of south coast and Dorset and Kent are brilliant for, they've got the same soil structures and actually a fairly similar climate to Champagne, and are producing sparkling wine, world-class sparkling wine. And Langham Estate we discovered sort of back in April at the English wine growers tasting, and their wine won the Parsons Green Award for the best sparkling. And when we tasted it, we understood why. It's really interesting because it got all the character of a champagne, but it has something very English about it, almost sort of rhubarb notes, and it's just a lovely alternative style to have. So it's a dry style and will work really well with, I think it's a fresh wine that will be lovely with breakfast on Christmas morning. The next wine, I actually, whether you're ordering the classic pack or off the beaten track, I would go for the Domaine Sauger from Chevenix-Loire over against any Sancerre, even the Sancerre we have in our classic pack. Philippe Sauger is a risk taker. He comes from Chevenix, which is the newest appellation in France, and he has a nursery of rootstocks that he sells to the other growers, so he's a very good benchmark of wine of the area. But he's a bit of a risk taker, so he's always last to harvest the grapes, which gives the grapes a lot of ripeness, extraordinary ripeness, and produces a wine that's very aromatic, complex, and a really delicious wine and an excellent value for money. So if you like Sancerre, I would really recommend you try wine from Chevenix. This is a beautiful, particularly with goat's cheese, but all sorts of other dishes around Christmas, canapes, and it's one of our best selling wines, so I'd heartily recommend that. The other one in our pack is a bit of a crowd pleaser really, in terms of it's a very versatile wine, works very well with canapes, and it's a wine that everybody likes, and it won't overpower any dishes and flavours that you might be serving. So the Corte Machina Suave is a great wine to have on hand. It's a very good price anyway to have as a case or part of this pack, but it's a sort of a go-to white wine when people arrive, and really useful to have about. Similar theme with the next wine. Gamba was one of our first producers. In fact, it was the first producer we discovered. They are from Valpolicella Classico, high up in the hills above Lake Garda, and they've got a small estate of just 6 hectares, harvested by hand. And if you visit their winery, it's a very small little area, and it actually, the winery looks a bit like what you'd expect from a miniature railway. It's sort of everything you'd expect on a large-scale winery, but only in miniature. And they're one of the best producers around. They got noted by Decanter as a wine grower to watch, and their top wine, Amarone, recently received 5 stars. So, but the Valpolicella Classico is a light wine. It's from the Corvina grape. It tastes of cherries and a little bit of nutmeg, but it really is, because it's light, it goes very well with sort of poultry dishes. We'd be very good with a turkey as a red with the Christmas fare, but also as a light red, it's great for opening, a good pairing for the Soave white. It will work really well with as a wine to serve when people arrive again. The next wine, Languedoc. This is Faugère. The Languedoc in the south of France is a really exciting area in France. I think it's one of the most exciting areas where wine producers are trying new things, experimenting, and producing fabulous wines. They're not so restricted by the wine laws as some of the other areas of France. And the Faugère is a big wine. If you like Châteauneuf-du-Pape, it's that's a similar sort of style to that, but doesn't hit those kind of price tags. And this wine's really good for those winter stews or beef Wellington, heavier dishes. You know, roast beef, perfect. And it's a lovely wine, something a bit different to try, and it could become a real favourite. The other final wine in the pack is an Australian port from Queensland in the Granite Belt. Who would have thought that the Granite Belt was an area that you could produce wine? It's you think of the Gold Coast with with servers and all that sort of thing, but the Granite Belt is one of the newest areas in